Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the phone right now, he was on episode 1 of Everett Lee Show. He is back for the 100th episode tonight. Please welcome Hilton Ariel Ruiz, film director and producer of Zombie with a Shotgun. How's it been, man?
It's been great, man. Damn, I can't even believe it's the 100th episode. It just seemed like just the other day we did the first episode. It's amazing. Well, congrats on that as well.
Thank you.
You keep on continuing and doing your, what you love and what you like, and thank you for having me on for the 100th episode.
I know, man. It's been a wild ride. 100 episodes in, man. We're actually 99, not counting tonight. Well, yeah, let's count tonight because that's going to go down tonight as a milestone for Everett Lee. And it's been wild, man, because when I first launched, rebranded The Everett Lee Show, I was looking at who I was going to get on for my first guest, and I looked no further than you.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
It is.
So how's everything with you?
Oh, it's been great, man. It has definitely been great because just been, working on Podcast City Network, trying to get a lot of shows together. Been doing that here lately, and also just been working hard, just being a father with my 1-year-old daughter.
Finally lost his virginity.
That's what my co-host Shaft said.
Oh, no.
He lost his virginity and got a kid in the same night. Look at that.
Hey, look, it happens a lot, right? This person won't be the last.
I know. My co-host, man, I got 2 co-hosts with me tonight. That's McShaft, and I got David C. Russell from Deathmatch Russell Podcast on with me, too.
Hey, how you
awesome.
doing?
How's everything?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I was watching a little about your footage of your zombie and shotgun. I like the concept of that. That was really cool.
Oh man, thank you. It's awesome. It's been Zombie with a Shotgun has been really good to me. It's been going on for about 6 years, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with myself about how it's been running long, and the fan base keeps on growing, and people want more, and that's a really good sign. And I try to give the fans as much as as much as they want, and hope I can continue doing this for a very long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
See, I'm a fan of wrestling. I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, but I mix it up also in the world of movies and horror and this and that. I still keep track of what's going on in the world besides wrestling. There's a lot of movies that we
Yeah, absolutely. Wrestling is huge. As I was telling Everett last time, one of the questions, we spoke about, talking about why do people love zombies so much, if it's the $1 million question, we can never figure out why people love zombies. And I just say, I think it's part of American pop now, and I said part of American pop is, it's like having cheeseburgers, milkshake, wrestling, baseball, football, zombies, you know what I mean? It's part of the whole American pop thing,
I think the biggest reason is because it's a type of monster that people can relate. It's more realistic. Like, you could believe that a zombie apocalypse could happen. Not a lot of people could believe that, like a 7-headed dragon could pop up out of the water or something. But, with all the advances we have in like medicine and all these diseases and stuff, people could actually believe that could actually happen.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of looking at it. Absolutely.
Let me tell you this. I know a professional wrestler that actually was in the movie Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies. His name is G-Raver, and we talked about that a while back. Like, it was cool. Like, and there were a lot of extra wrestlers in the movie too. It's just amazing. It's like one of those one-time wonders, Mm-hmm. People got the chance to besides they can wrestle, but they have a zombie figure, behind it. It's really crazy.
That's pretty cool, man.
It is. And last time I talked to you with Zombie with a Shotgun, you were in the production stages of getting everything going. I talked with you about a Indiegogo or GoFundMe campaign and that took off really well. And you started filming and started producing Zombie with the Shotgun. Where are you right now with the process of Zombie with the Shotgun?
Okay, so just to give your fans a little bit of break down how it all started, and we started the web series 6 years ago, August of 2012. Right, it's pretty amazing, and we went and if the popularity started growing, and into 4 years, we decided to go out there and do campaigns, and that's a big job itself, and raise money from different types of campaigns, from GoFundMe to what is the other one? Indiegogo, all these campaigns to raise money. So we've been doing it for almost a year, and finally, the ironic thing also, we shot actually in August of 2016. We shot the beginning, the first 10 or 12 days we shot for the feature. And of course, you know how it is, we still need to raise money, and we kept on going. And 2 years, we're right now 2 years. I was definitely hoping that we would have the film out much sooner, but of course, you know how you get bumps in the road and everything like that. But right now, where we're about maybe, I would say, 6 to 2 months completely all done and ready to go anywhere, So there's a lot of different possibilities that we're trying to do with Zombie with Shotgun. We're trying to be able to, either do we release it out to the fans immediately. Because of the fan base, we're very fortunate that because of the large fan base, we could just release the film out, stream it right away. It's not like one of these films that just, finish, everything's in the can, ready to be shown in a film festival, and then build its popularity through the festival, and through the festival, go out to do the PR machine, get it out to, whatever, stream it, Netflix, out in theaters, whatever you're going to do. Again, being fortunate with Zombie with Shotgun, we already have a fan base. So it's pretty kind of, there's a decision here that we're trying to figure out, should we just release it out, or we wait to see if there is a good festival out there that would say, hey, we will take it in and we'll premiere your film. So I think that's where we're at right now. Like I said, we're 2 months away to have the thing completely done. And when it's completely done, at the same simultaneously, we're trying to figure out, should we just premiere it ourselves on a screening here in New York City, and right after that, we'll stream it out to people, whoever wants to buy it, get it out on streaming or DVD or whatever, or wait till a festival come and say, hey, we want to screen this, we want to premiere this. So that's where we're at right now. But the good thing is we're finally, rounding that third base, ready to go home plate, and it's really exciting. It's been a lot of work. The cast and crew was wonderful. They were just, everybody was great. Production, everybody believed in the project. Everyone worked hard in the project, and everyone had, everyone had patience. And I know a lot of the fans, where's the film coming? Film is coming out. We're trying to bring out the best product for the fans. We don't want to rush things and get things. And that was one thing that, just do for your fan base and for your audience to know that with what we decided as we're coming down to production, I always wanted to get some animation into the film. Right. And I approached Robin Steele, which is a big fan of stick theater. If you guys remember MTV Liquid Television, during like the 90s. So I approached him. I told him about Zombie with Shotgun. I told him, dude, I'm such a big fan of you, of your work and your stick figure theater during, the MTV Liquid Television. And I think he was there 3 or 4 seasons when they were out there. I'm not 100% sure if that was, how many times. I know they had a couple seasons. And one of my favorite ones, believe it or not, was the Night of the Living Dead stick theater. And I told him about it. And I said, look, I want to do something not, exactly like that, stick figure, something similar and everything. We spoke on the phone. We hit it off very well. And he's like, dude, I would love to work on this project. So that was one of the things that kind of took a little delay. I said, hey, you know what? That to me was, meant a lot to me, being a big fan of his work. Right. And bringing also a new element to the Zombie with a Shotgun, having this animator come on board and do some animation sequences for the film, and people who love his work can also come in and watch the film and the animation aspect of it. And I think it would be pretty cool. I think what we did was pretty, it's a treat for the audience. So that's another thing that I never explained to a lot of my audience. I know some of my audience knows, but now, just to, I never spoke about it on a podcast. It's the first time speaking about it.
Right. Yeah, it's
a lot of
amazing.
Stuff, but there really is a lot of process. And, just media, trying to get you out there. It's hard,
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about like later on down the road, like what's going to be the next continuation of this? Are we going to have like a werewolf with a shotgun next, or like vampire with a shotgun or something?
Right now, there are so many different possibilities to go. Again, I'll say it again, very fortunate that, the Design with Shotgun had created a large fan base, and we've gotten a lot of attention from a lot of people. And you could imagine how many people contacted me on what they want to do. Oh, what are you doing with this? A lot of stuff been flying out, like television series been, coming towards me. There's so many people. You have to figure out who's real, who's not real. Is it something that you really want to do? Do you really want to? Sometimes you have to figure out, hey, I don't want to give up my project, something that I worked for so many years, and then somebody's going to come along and ruin it. Obviously, something is working. So there's so many things to think about. What can I do? I'll give you an example. There are some companies that want to do a video game app for Zombie with a Shotgun. There's like so many things I can do. But I can tell you what I really would like to do. I like to have this film, of course, completed and finished, and see how the audience takes it in the project. And I definitely would love to do a sequel. I'm not sure if I would do a campaign for it, but if that's what it takes for me to do a sequel, I would do a campaign again. And take it from there. I'd love to do a sequel. And of course, everybody's dream as a filmmaker and artist is definitely would love to have it as a television series. But that's everybody. Everybody wants their project to be that. And there's, so much stuff that going on that. That will be the ultimate goal. But, see how it comes, how it goes. But if not, like I said, I would definitely like to take it out for another sequel. I think it would be such a more faster process, even though there would be a lot of work going on to do the campaign. But I think with the first film in out there and release, people would say this thing is definitely real. I'm going in, I really want to see a sequel. Let's go pitch into the campaign. Yeah. Let's get the sequel done. And I think instead of having 2 years, it'll be less than 2 years. We can get this out, probably like a year and a half tops. So that's what I would like to do. Mm-hmm. And whatever comes towards me, I'll think about what I need to do. That's just, you never know, right? This is a weird business. This is a business that you just don't know. Tomorrow you may be doing something totally opposite, and Zombie with a Shotgun could be, I don't know, something could be zombie, like I said, zombie with the werewolf, zombie with the whatever, anything
you never know.
Yeah. Anything can happen. I have up on the screen here, I have the Facebook page with Zombie with a Shotgun, and you've added quite a bit to it and stuff, and I love the makeup and the effects for the lead on Zombie with a Shotgun. It's just looks fantastic, man. It looks really good, and it's everything that you talked to me about before when I've had you on the podcast. Talked about the transformation of the lead, transforming slowly into a zombie, and the makeup and effects is just great. Who worked on the makeup effects on the film?
Yeah, that's absolutely. That's great that, we touch into the makeup. A lot of times I don't get anybody touch onto the makeup, aspect of the makeup element of, the production and everything like that. So when we designed with a Shotgun, again, we shot that first, 2 weeks we shot. And then again, we had to raise more monies, and I went out there and then waited like 3 or 4 months and go back. So there were various different makeup artists. Let's see how I can make this short, because it seems like I talk a lot.
No, you're fine, man. You're good. You're good.
Right, thanks. From the first time we started production, there was this gentleman out in Australia, and he wrote this article on Zombie with a Shotgun, and it was a very interesting article. He talked about how he was very depressed, and he used to be the special effects makeup artist. when he was younger. And he said that he just didn't want to do it no more because he was suffering from depression. And he bumped into Zombie with a shotgun and inspired him to go back to be a makeup artist, visual effects artist, whatever. So he started making silicone pieces for Zombie with a shotgun, and he mailed it to me. And I had no idea.
Really?
And
That's awesome.
it was an amazing story. Somebody actually saw it online and emailed me and said, "Hey, Hilton, there's this guy talking about your project. I don't even know if you know this guy." I saw the article. I said, "No, I've never, ever talked to this gentleman ever." He talked about the project, about the episode. So I reached out to him. It was an email. I was like, "Hey, I read this article. I mean, I'm so happy that, you got inspired from Zombie with a Shotgun." He was like, "Dude, I'm so happy you contacted me because I made all these silicone pieces and everything for you, and I want to send it to you." I was like, "Wow." So he sent them to me. He made all these pieces. He did actually twice. And we had this makeup artist come in, Ashley, who came in. She was the main makeup artist that came on board, and she definitely helped out to make that transition from starting from beginning all the way to, I would say, like 3/4. So, but again, as I said, as we kept on going back to shooting, then we had another makeup artist come, and she also did the makeup. So what happened is the very end, I mean, I kind of shot this like, not really, but yes, really chronological order. So the very end, I wanted to needed a makeup artist, and there's a gentleman that I really wanted to work with, Benjamin, who works for Gotham. He does the makeup for a lot of these, for the Penguin and all that stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I really wanted to work. I bumped into this website, and I said, "Damn, this guy's the real deal," and he is the real deal. And I contacted him, and we spoke, and I told him, "Look, I want a kick-ass zombie and everything." So we, the long process, and this was like a real deal. So I said to myself, I really want to give the fans something really big, treat them to really show the final transition of him becoming a zombie. This was the right guy to hire.
Right.
Got him on board, and that last scene is what you see in one of the photographs on Facebook, and it's an incredible makeup process. We don't even want to show too much. We just want to surprise the fans at that very last scene.
Yeah, because it's on the banner right there, and it's up close like photo, a picture of them, and it's like, wow, it's like I want to see the rest, and it's a good tease, man.
It is a great tease. It is. It's like I said. Well, and even with that, a lot of people didn't even want me to throw that out, and I was like, dude, I have to just give something out there to show people that
Right.
this is Zombie with a Shotgun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, working on the film, you've had Kurt Goodall. I had Kurt Goodall from Afro Nerd Radio on one of my early episodes of the Everett Lee Show. How's Kurt doing? I haven't reached out to him lately, and how was it working with a really good friend of yours on a project like this?
Yeah, Kirk is an amazing. He came in, he helped me, produce the project. Kirk is I would say, a childhood friend. I grew up with Kirk years. He's probably one of the very few guys that I could say I know longer than 25 years. How many people can say that? I know a person longer than 25 years, maybe 30 years.
Right.
And we grew up with each other, and we've always come back together. And I guess I would say the last like 12 years, he's been with me in every project that I've done. I would say, "Hey, look, dude, I need help. Would you come along?" And he would always say, "Yeah, let's do it." He's doing very great. He's doing his Afro Nerd Radio shows. He's doing very well on it. Same thing how you do the podcast and everything. But he was really awesome. Him coming into the Zombie with a Shotgun and working together. And you always need somebody that you could depend on. And you always get that one guy that you're like, "Oh, I need a call. I need somebody to help me." Blah blah blah. That is that one guy for me. And it's very hard to get that guy to say, "Hey, look, dude, I need you in the set. I need you to do this," and he'll just say, "Yeah, let's do it." So it's definitely great to have him around, have him on my side, and have him to do things that we need to do when we get to going on the film.
Yeah, he's such a good guy, and I've listened to On and Off when I can, Afro Nerd Radio, and he's so great, and I love the podcast,
absolutely.
And it's just really, really great. Talking about articles like you mentioned, now I saw this when it was put up on social media, and I was wondering what your reaction would have been. I mean, what was to this article? Someone put out there, I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those big named magazines, such as I believe along the lines of like the Inquisitor or Entertainment Weekly. And they compared Zombie with a Shotgun, basically saying it's going to give The Walking Dead a run for its money. And the feedback on it, I thought was great, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, this is interesting. I want to check this out." How do you feel, and how did you feel about when that article was written? And your
again, somebody sent it to me, and I gave a really good story, a really interesting story about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I don't know if it was 2 days after it was published. I was getting people like, "Hey, did you see the article?" So I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then I got people calling me saying, "Congratulations, you got your own TV series show." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Right? So people were just going. So I read the article. It's like, oh wow, and there are so many articles out there that I have no idea. And I mean, I was flattered when I saw it. I was like, wow, that's pretty big, and it happens a lot where somebody would send me an article and say, look, somebody obviously loved your project and they wrote about it. And I mean, it was definitely flattering. It was definitely amazing. It definitely feels to me that there are people out there that really feel that this can definitely take to the next step. That there are fans that are out there that look at it and say, wow, I would love to be that. That'd be a show.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people say that should be a Netflix show, Hulu show, something like that. And everyone always talks about it. And I'm like, dude, it is a dream to have something like that. But again, still working on the project, on the craft, and see how, could get going. But it's definitely amazing to have articles like that. And that is, again, the blessing of the Zombie with a Shotgun. Again, going back to being very lucky to have this already, PR machine that was already, I never even paid anybody or anything. All this free PR came along with Zombie with a Shotgun due to the fact that people really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's amazing if this film, it's amazing that if I do finish the film tomorrow, I can make the choice and say, hey guys, guess what? Here's the film. Go grab it in whatever a format you want to get it. That's the amazing thing about it. And those articles are the articles that help get this, Zombie with a Shotgun to that platform. And that I really appreciate.
Yeah, it definitely does. I believe David has a question for you. He's wanting to ask you.
Ooh.
I was just thinking of a film right now, like Zombies of a Podcast. Like, there we go.
Zombie podcast.
Zombie with a podcast.
I actually, the phone broke up a little bit. What was the question? I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead and repeat the question, David. You may have to get a little bit closer there, David. It broke up.
I was saying I said picture zombies on a podcast, like a movie with Everett Lee, McShaft, me, and a whole bunch of other.
Dude. I think that'd be cool. Zombie with a podcast.
The thing is that everybody might get shot up after any podcast after.
Yeah.
See, now that's an idea. You have a podcast with zombies, and at the end of every podcast, they wind up killing the host somehow in some random fashion.
Yes, that would be awesome.
It's like on South Park when every episode Kenny would get killed somehow. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that would be cool.
The podcast, the audio would probably be more like, I mean, how zombies grunt.
What's your favorite food?
What did you say?
I think you're speaking French. What was that? Remember the Budweiser commercial with the toads and the ferret? And he's like, oh, Louis, I don't understand the ferret. He goes, oh, he's speaking French.
You remember that, yes.
Oh, man. Those were the good days.
That is great.
Where you at?
What's that, David?
I said, where's Hilton actually based out of? Where's he actually based out of?
Oh, I'm based out of New York City.
Oh, cool, man. Oh, cool. I'm right here at the Jersey Shore.
Oh, awesome, man. Right
Yeah.
there, that's real close.
I was just talking to, actually, me and Everett were talking about this upcoming, the Killer Fest is actually coming to the Parsippany.
Which one?
The Chiller Festival is coming up.
Okay,
in October.
Yes. Where's that? That's in Jersey?
That's the Parsippany. Yeah, Jersey, the Hilton.
Yeah.
But we'll get a link up later. Yeah, that's
Definitely.
Actually, Everett, don't you have a friend that's going to be on the calling in soon? Actually, Todd actually is going to
He'll
be
probably
attending
call.
the-
He'll probably call in later. Once they get the phone lines up. I mean, I'm still trying to work some kinks out and stuff and everything. But Todd Staruch, he has a podcast on Podcast City Network called Imaginarium. He does it with Scott Colbert, who's an author, and Todd is also in David's neck of the woods there. And Todd, he's known as the horror nerd. I've had him on plenty of times. And the two guests I've had the most on my podcast would be Todd and you, Hilton.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah, Todd lives up near New Jersey, and he's known as a horror nerd, and he goes to a lot of the conventions and stuff. And also, the last convention he was at, it was in Atlantic City this past weekend. I think it was last weekend. And he took some pictures and posted it up on his Facebook, and I like the header picture on his profile he put up. He was working with a good friend of his who does indie films, and he worked as a producer with him on a horror anthology, kind of like a Twilight Zone take. And
Yes.
And the picture he had with his friend Tom Ryan was they were standing there with Dee Snider, a twisted sister.
That's awesome.
He's still around?
Man.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah, let him listen. Hey, let him know. Reach out to him. Let him know about myself. And you never know when you network with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. After tonight, I'll make some contacts to Tom and let him know and stuff. And what's neat is in the last 4 years of me doing a podcast, I've talked to a lot of indie film directors, and they're all based out of New Jersey and New York, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty. Yeah, because usually you go everywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is definitely amazing talking with yourself, talking with Tom Ryan. I had Thomas Ryan on a couple times, talking about the stuff he's been working on, and I've had Jack Thomas Smith on. He did an indie film back a few years ago called Infliction. It was based off a true story about two brothers who went on a killing spree in North Carolina. And he actually went down there and filmed it in where the crimes happened and stuff. A lot of it was based on truth. A lot of it was exaggerated, and the way he shot it was shot kind of like a found footage type movie, but he did it so good, unlike any found footage films, and it was just fantastic.
Oh, that's nice, man. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, it's a really good movie too to watch. And Thomas Ryan, he has a film on Amazon. You can check out on Amazon Prime. It's a movie he did called Faces, and the premise is about a guy who snaps and he goes kind of on a killing spree, and the victims he kills, their faces show up on the wall, and they sit there and just talk to him until he goes to the point insane where he goes and kills another person.
I thought that was the movie with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta where they switched faces.
No, that's Face Off.
Oh, Face Off.
Face
Gotcha.
Off.
Face
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah. I remember that too.
Yeah, Face Off. But that right there, it's pretty neat.
Would you ever switch faces with somebody?
Well, on
Can you
one of the
imagine that?
episodes, I talked
that'd
about
be
my
cool,
head
huh?
exploding on episode 73, and I talked about my head exploding there, McShaft.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
wanted
had
to take my face,
But I mean,
This
if
guy
you
wanted
but I
to
mean,
take my face.
if you had the
What do you mean?
opportunity to switch faces with somebody, like, would you?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna go around since I got you on the phone, Hilton. We'll start with you. If you could actually switch faces with someone, who would it be? If you could do it for a day, we'll say 24 hours. If you could switch faces with someone for 24 hours, who would you be?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, I gotta think about that. I never in my whole entire life ever thought any question like that. Yeah. Oh my god. Wow. No, I don't know. I can't even really I don't know. It's kind of like a trick question.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to stump you there, man.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
It is a hard one. That is a hard one right there.
It's a hard one. I'm gonna have to pass on it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Since you brought up the question, McShaft, who would you be for 24 hours?
Oh, man.
Answer.
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy.
Can you imagine all the trouble I'd get into?
I don't even imagine.
I'd get in a lot of trouble.
David, who would you be for 24 hours?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes? Nice.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, okay, cool. We can switch right now. I mean, give me a knife real quick.
Me? I don't know. Me, that'd be a little bit hard for me to figure out.
That's what she said.
See what I got to put up with, man? See what I got to put up with all the time doing podcasts with who I work with?
It's all right.
I love these guys,
You got to get back
man.
at them.
Yeah, I rip them all the time, man. I rip them all the time. Later on tonight, I'm going to be playing a montage video of everything through the episode 1 through 99 best of moments that I pulled out.
Oh, that's
and you
awesome.
can see, it took me a while to work on. I took 2 weeks off to work on it, and I'll tell you, people who tune in tonight, you will love the footage and the clips that I pulled, because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of ripping I do on David and especially McShaft here.
Please tell me you didn't include that one clip with you and the goat. We don't need to see that.
Everett,
No, that one. Yeah, go ahead, David.
Everett, since we have somebody in the movie field right now, what does he think about the new Venom movie and Halloween that's coming out?
Yeah.
About the
Good question. Good question. David wants to know what's your take on Halloween, the new Halloween coming out
And
next
Venom.
month.
it looks pretty,
I mean, I think they had no choice to bring Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, I think that was the only way that the franchise would have, I don't know what you want to call it. They revamped it. Is it it's not a remake or it's a continuation or whatever. But either or, I mean, that was the only way. And I think it was interesting too that they brought in a director that is not really known to do horror films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of his first films, if I'm correct, was George Washington, right? That was like one of his first independent films, which is a great independent film.
Yes.
And I thought that was a good strategy. Let's see if it works. They brought in a more of a writer-director to come on board to see if he can tackle the script in different ways that he, as a non-horror director, would look into. And I think that was an interesting approach. Now let's see if it works. I also appreciate the fact that they brought it back to rated R. I mean, that's the only way that these horror films are going to work.
Yes.
So I appreciate the fact that went back to rated R and brought back Jamie Lee Curtis. And look, for the fans, I think it's beautiful. It's great. I mean, every single person that loves horror loves Halloween, and bring back Michael Myers around Halloween time. You can't get better than going to the movies for October to see that film.
Yeah.
Venom, I thought it was I'm not too crazy about Venom, but the problem, I always said it was a problem of creating a story, but I mean, how can you not watch it with Tom Hardy? I mean, I think that's the only way that the film would work with. Or not just work. I think no matter what, people would go see the film. But now it's more intriguing because you have an actor who really believes in his craft. I'm not saying all actors don't believe in craft, but you can see this actor, Tom Hardy, and we've seen him in numerous roles, and you can see how he takes these roles very serious and very just, he becomes that character. And watching the trailer, you actually see Tom Hardy, but it doesn't even seem like Tom Hardy. So that is a big plus, and that's what I really want to see. I want to see somebody who definitely can bring a whole different, element to Venom, in acting wise as well. And Spider-Man is my favorite character, Marvel character of all time. I mean, a lot of people, and Venom also. I love all that stuff, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't really crazy about it, but I'm crazy about Tom Hardy playing it, so I definitely gonna watch both films.
Yeah. What I love about it is that I know Sam Raimi, he tried to cram so much into his trilogy of doing Spider-Man, and in the third one, I guess it just didn't feel natural, and it felt right about with Topher Grace playing Eddie Brock. However, Tom Hardy, he is, you're right about that. I agree with you. Tom Hardy is passionate about roles he takes and stuff. And just watching that clip, there's a clip out there they teased where Venom takes out a SWAT team, and it's fantastic to how they did the animation and stuff. And they're pulling the source material is actually from a comic book, a story that happened with it being set in San Francisco, with him eventually becoming an anti-hero and fighting 5 symbiotes, that raise havoc, all over San Francisco, and he becomes the anti-hero, which I love. They're pulling source material from the comics. A couple years ago, I told you about what happened with me and my wife, and then I didn't talk to you there for a while, and when I got back with you, when I had you come on for episode 1, right before we hit record, you asked how's everything, and you asked about how my son was, and I told you what happened and stuff, and then a few months later, man, all of a sudden my wife was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, no shit, are you kidding me? And a year later, got a 1-year-old daughter running around the house terrorizing.
Dude, I just can't believe how time flies, man.
I know.
I just can't believe it. It's ridiculous.
It has.
Wow.
It has. Time has run by really fast, and
dude. But God bless, man. I'm happy that you're happy at this moment, and it's amazing, man. So it's great.
It is. It's been a wild ride, guys. Cody, David, do you have anything else you want to ask Hilton before we close?
We covered a lot of stuff that we wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that when the finished product is 100% done, don't spare on the blood. We need lots of blood.
Cody loves blood.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for taking time out tonight and coming back on my 100 episode, man. I love this. I love everything that you're doing with the Zombie with the Shotgun. I love how you are passionate with what you do and what art that you bring out, and it shows in your work that the passion that you have. And I've told you this probably plenty of times before, but I'm going to tell you again, man. I love you. Love what you do, and I can't wait for the final product of Zombie with a Shotgun. And where can people find more of Zombie with a Shotgun at?
Well, listen, thank you. I appreciate those kind words. And definitely, before that, when the film does come out, we'll do another podcast, talking about the film.
Yes.
By then, watch the film, and we definitely can talk about, the scenes in the film and what you thought about the film. I think that'll be a pretty cool podcast to come back. People can find me in, I have them all over. I mean, you could go even just simply zombiewithashotgun.com. I'm always on Twitter, so you could go zombie WA shotgun. That's where I'm at. I'm always hitting off people DM me every day. I'm always there. If I don't answer you, I don't follow you, I will follow you sometime. I'm also Facebook, Zombie with a Shotgun, Instagram, Zombie with a Shotgun. And I always tell this also, if people don't know about Zombie with a Shotgun, just Google it, hit Zombie with a Shotgun first episode, watch the first episode. There are 5 episodes that are available online. And by just watching the first episode, you can definitely see the concept, and they'll be able to let you know if you like it or not. And that's basically what you're going to get. You're going to get that feel, the mode, and the mood of what I'm trying to create and everything. And that's basically where anybody can find me. And if people want to read articles, just Google Zombie with a Shotgun, and you definitely can see the articles and what people wrote about it and what people think about it. And Yeah, that's definitely. Did I leave anything out? Yeah, that's when you can find me.
You pretty much covered everything. McShaft here, Cody. He just followed you on Instagram, Zombie with the Shotgun, and he has one question. Someone that's watching right now on the live stream, they want to know one question. And the question comes from his co-host on another podcast he does on Podcasting Network, Bear Claw Survival. Brady Gibson, his co-host, wants to know about, he wanted to ask you about can you bring it a little bit closer? I can't see.
What's that?
About a doomsday survival for a zombie apocalypse. What would you suggest?
Well, suggesting what kind of weapon you talking about? What I suggest?
Sure, yeah. What kind of weapons do we got?
What kind of weapons?
If there was definitely, oh man, I mean, dude, the shotgun.
Yes. Awesome. I love that answer.
Yeah, that's it.
Hilton.
I would say a shotgun and a bat.
Oh, there
Shotgun
you
and a
go.
bat.
Dude, a bat with a shotgun inside of it.
That'd be
Creative.
cool. Yeah,
Right?
That is awesome.
yeah.
Hilton, I want to thank you for coming back on. Yes, definitely. When Zombie with the Shotgun gets done, we'll talk about it. Definitely have you come back on, man.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
It was awesome talking. Have a great night.
You too, guys. Take
All
care
right.
and thank you, and we'll be talking soon.
Yes.
Take care.
Definitely. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows on all of our great social media outlets. PodcastCity.net.
Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter @Podcast City Net.
Only on Podcast City Network.